In his third week back from an event that could have potentially taken his life, Ricky Pearsall finished as the wide receiver 13 with over 70 receiving yards and a touchdown in week 10. But just how good was he? We're going to break down some advanced stats and what we saw from him on film in week 9 and come to a conclusion as to just how well he performed this past Sunday. The first thing that you need to know about Ricky Pearsall is that he is an elite athlete even by NFL standards. And we are talking one of the best athletes in the NFL right now. He is 6'1", 189, and ran a 4.41 40-yard dash, which is 92nd percentile in and of itself. But when you adjust for him being 6'1", 189, with that 40-yard dash time, that gives him a 99.9 speed score, which is 72nd percentile. That is crazy. But that's just the beginning. Taking a look at his burst score, that's his vertical and broad jump, his 135.9 score is 98th percentile. But then you move on to the agility score. His 10.69 is 97th percentile too. And he has a catch radius of 10.44, which is also 98th percentile. So the lowest percentile among any of these categories is his speed score, which is still 72nd percentile. Everything else is above or at 92. That is ridiculous. This guy is one of the best athletes right now. And so taking a look at some advanced stats, I sorted it by wide receivers in week 10 that had at least 5 targets. That was a total of 44. In this game, Pearsall ran 30 routes, which was 90.9% of the team routes altogether. He played 33.33% of his snaps from the slot and 66.67% out wide. So I love the utilization both inside and out. Looking at his yards per out run, his 2.43 ranked 9th among this entire group. His 66.5 receiving grade was 28th, so not the best. But his yards after catch per reception of 8.8 was 4th. That is aided by a long touchdown, but still. He didn't have any missed tackles forced, but he did have a contested catch, which was tied for 10th. His 6 targets, however, were only 24th. His 4 receptions were 28th. His 73 yards, though, were 13th. So he made the most out of less than other people. And his 1 touchdown was tied for 3rd as well. And so overall, this was a highly efficient week for him, considering he only had 6 total targets. And so beyond those stats, I wanted to see how he performed versus man and zone. I took the sample size of wide receivers that had at least 2+ targets versus man to get a decent sample. That was 41 total wide receivers. Versus man, Pearsall had 4.5 yards per out run. That's 5th among this entire group. His PFF receiving grade of 68 was 18th. His yards after catch per reception of 1.7 was tied for 18th. He didn't force a missed tackle, had 1 contested catch, which was tied for 3rd. His 3 targets were tied for 10th. His 3 receptions were tied for 4th. His 27 receiving yards were 17th, and he didn't have a touchdown. And so overall, the total yards and the lack of touchdown isn't all that impressive, but 4.5 yards per out run versus man coverage is very good. Then you take a look at the zone. His 2.71 yards per out run was 9th. His 66.67 PFF receiving grade was tied for 12th. His 30 yards after catch per reception was 2nd, which was obviously aided by that long touchdown. He didn't force any missed tackles, and he didn't have any contested catches. His 2 targets were tied for 18th. His 1 reception was tied for 20th. His 46 yards were 10th. And his 1 touchdown was tied for 2nd. And so overall, he obviously was aided by a long touchdown against the zone coverage, but his yards per out run in both were absolutely fantastic. All right, taking a look at Ricky Pearsall's first target, he's lined up out wide. He is going to be running a deep out. The Buccaneers are going to be in cover 3, so you're going to have deep third defender, and deep third defender. And so you're going to have Josh Hayes one-on-one with Ricky Pearsall. So the ball is on this hash, so that really limits Ricky Pearsall's area of the field to run this route. And so he's really not going to have much space. He is going to do a pretty good job of getting a little bit of separation. The ball goes out of bounds, though, and it's pretty good coverage. And so look at that separation. It isn't a ton of separation, but it is plenty enough for this ball. But he's going to chuck it out of bounds. I do like the way in which he was able to immediately snap for that cut, though. That was a pretty sharp cut. And so it was an incompletion, and it was really good coverage, but I do like the route by him, and he was able to get separation at the top of his route. Taking a look at Ricky Pearsall's second target, he's right here. He is going to be running a crosser. The tight end is going to set him up with a dig route. It's a really good play call. The Bucks are going to be in cover 3, so you're going to have deep third defender, deep third defender, deep third defender. Then these two guys are going to be in hook zones. Ricky is going to press towards the outside here before making a really sharp cut in between the linebacker and safety right here. And the dig route is going to draw this linebacker out of the play. He is going to find a spot right in between both of these defenders and the safety, and Purdy throws it with perfect timing and accuracy. This is a beautiful play. Notice the sharp cut on his release, and then another beautiful cut. Amazing timing by Brock Purdy too. Tough yards after catch, and he scores a touchdown. I'm really liking what I'm seeing from Ricky Pearsall in terms of his snap when he cuts. Very, very good route running. Taking a look at his third target, Ricky Pearsall's right here. They're going to put Saubert in motion towards this side of the field. He's going to run a deep out right on the goal line. You're going to have cover 4 by the Bucks here, so you're going to have deep quarter, deep quarter. This guy's going to roll back in deep quarter and deep quarter. So for the second time in 3 targets, he is matched up one-on-one with Josh Hayes. Josh Hayes wins this battle at the catch point. It would have been a really tough grab if he had come down with it. You know, and as a receiver, if the ball hits your hands, you're expected to come down with it. He probably should have caught this, but at the same time, it's not like it was an easy grab. You'll see what I mean. So they're going to put Saubert in motion. He gets off the line, makes his cut, and right there, it does hit him on the hands. But it was really toughly contested at the catch point. So we'll take a look in real time. You know, a little bit high out wide, and it was contested. So definitely not an easy ball to catch, but you would definitely prefer that he come down with it. But he definitely made up for it with his first touchdown, so I would definitely cut him some slack. If you like what you're hearing and seeing, feel free to like and subscribe. I love doing these player breakdowns where we take a look at their utilization, advanced stats, and then break down what we saw from them on film, and then come to an assessment as to just how good a player is or how they performed any given week. And so if you want to see more content like this, just like and subscribe. Thanks. Taking a look at Ricky Pearsall's fourth target, he's going to be right here in a bunch formation in the slot. This is going to be a spacing concept. And so they're going to have Juwan Jennings clear out space against this press man corner. Then they're going to have a little hitch route by Debo, and they're going to have a flat route underneath that by Ricky Pearsall. And it's a really good play call against man coverage. The Bucks are going to be in cover 2 man, so this cornerback's going to be on Debo. This press man corner is going to be on Juwan Jennings. And then Zion McCollum in the slot here is going to be on Ricky Pearsall. They're going to have 2 deep half safeties. And so what's going to happen is Debo is going to purposefully sit his route directly in the path of Zion McCollum, trying to get to the flat. The ball is just a little bit late, and so he's not able to do much after the catch. But it is encouraging to see that they're trying to get him the ball in the short passing game. So he catches it, squares up, and there's just really nothing for him to do. But we'll take a look from the beginning. Nice gain of 6, nothing special. On his 5th target, Ricky Pearsall begins right here. They're going to put him in motion, though, and then have him run a speed out. It ends up being a really good play call. The Buccaneers are going to be in cover one man, so you're going to have a deep center field safety. This cornerback is actually going to follow Ricky Pearsall across the line of scrimmage over here and going to match up with him. However, he's going to be right in this general area. He's going to be in such off coverage that Ricky Pearsall's speed out is absolutely wide open. He isn't really able to do too much after the catch here, but he really wasn't put in much of a situation to be able to do so. But I want to show you something about his route, and I'll tell you once he starts running it. All right, so as he makes his break, I really like how he's able to basically run in a perfectly straight line. Sometimes it's tempting for receivers to drift upfield, which could create an opportunity for the cornerback to undercut the route. But you'll notice that he stays in basically a perfectly straight line. Really good play call. They kind of lucked out, in my opinion, that they're playing such off coverage. It basically just was a free catch. But nonetheless, he ran the route, got the first down. Good catch. And yeah, another good play for Ricky Pearsall. On this final route, we have Ricky Pearsall right here on the bottom of your screen. He is going to be running an angle route, so he's going to run sharply this way before heading directly infield. It's going to be a really good play call because the Bucs are going to be in man coverage. They're going to be in cover one man. And so you're going to have deep safety here, and this cornerback is going to be in press man against Pearsall. This cornerback is going to be really physical with Pearsall, but Pearsall is going to use that against him. He is going to get instant separation once he makes his cut towards the middle of the field. And in my opinion, it should have been defensive holding. But he still gets open nonetheless and catches the ball through contact. Just wait till you see. And so you'll notice right away he gets really physical with Pearsall. But Pearsall is going to shove him away and use that against him. Get late separation. Catch the ball through contact. It does end up coming out, but it was ruled a catch and he was down, so no, it's still good. But take a look in real time at how tough Ricky Pearsall is here. Ricky Pearsall is going to be an absolute menace against man coverage for a long time, and he has a quarterback and head coach that are going to be able to scheme him open and actually get him the ball. I don't think we have seen anything yet from Ricky Pearsall. Ricky Pearsall is going to be extremely productive in the future. And so when we think about Ricky Pearsall's performance, yeah, his advanced stats were boosted a little bit in terms of his overall and zone by that long touchdown, but he absolutely cooked versus man and zone. We saw that he ran crisp routes on that angle. He fought through a ton of contact to catch the ball, and he still caught it through contact. I mean, we saw him used on speed outs, flat routes, a deeper out, two deeper outs, really, and then that crosser for a touchdown. And so I really like how they're utilizing him. I love his route running. He's going to get better and better, and he is connected to Shanahan and Brock Purdy. That is going to be great for years to come. But then we also think, with unfortunately the loss of Brandon Ayuk, that is going to allow him to step into a significant role. And given that he's performing well, at least this past week, with the, I don't want to say limited, because 6 targets isn't insignificant, but relatively moderate role in the offense at this point, all signs are up. Remember that he is a special athlete. He, besides his speed score, which is 72nd percentile, he was 92nd or better percentile in both 40-yard dash time, burst, agility, and catch radius. This guy is a superb athlete. Get him in Dynasty if you can. You better hope for a down week if you're trying to buy, because I really doubt that owners are going to be wanting to sell once they see that he's getting a significant role each and every week in this 49ers offense. This guy is going to be very good for a long time in a fantastic scheme. But what do you think? How do you think he performed this week? What did you like from him on film? Let me know below in the comment section below and let me know why. With that being said, if you want to see more content like this, just like and subscribe. It's a free and easy way to support the channel and I'd really appreciate it. Thanks.